Good evening everyone. I hope today's been a bit more manageable for you in the pharmacies. We're certainly not getting a lot of feedback of that nature, so I'm just saying that more in hope for you guys, and I hope that you're getting a break somewhere. But anyway, we've been trying to put messages out in the media today. You might have seen myself on the TV tonight talking about the challenges that community pharmacy teams are facing. I've also been on the BBC radio as well talking about that and asking for a bit of respite for you guys, a bit of understanding, and can the tap be turned off to some degree in the prescription volumes that are coming through. So we'll see if those type of messages, along with other members of the CPS team putting out in the wider media, are taken up, and certainly hopefully that the public have that appreciation of what you're trying to do, which I think most of them do, but actually maybe a bit more understanding in certain cases. I've got concrete information for you tonight on the protective equipment, the personal protective equipment for you. Alliance Healthcare have offered to distribute that on behalf of the government next Monday. It's been a challenge in terms of getting the logistics right and how we even get to Alliance Healthcare, I believe, but they should be coming to pharmacies near you next Monday, which is great, and as quick as can happen actually at the minute. So that they are coming. Other considerations that we're discussing with Scottish Government with regards to Pharmacy First, we obviously want that to be the best it can be for you, for the public, that the service is intended. You'll be aware that we've already extended masks to allow consistent access across the primary care team and pharmacy for minor ailments, and Jason Leach illustrated why that was so important in his video a couple of days ago. But we're giving serious thought to the need to maybe postpone Pharmacy First. It needs to go up to ministerial level and CPS board level to determine whether that's a step that we can take, but it's looking increasingly likely that that may be the case. But keep an eye out for any concrete announcements on that over the coming days. Harry has also been very busy today looking at funding for pharmacies, because it's going to be crucial, and there's 5 key areas that we're looking at with regards to the funding proposal that Harry pulled together today. So there's staff costs, because staff have to rightly be paid for the tremendous extra hours and tremendous effort that they're putting in, trying to make the pharmacies work and get the medicines out to people, so that has to be recognised. Health and safety. So many of you have been investing in materials to support the staff, barriers in terms of to give the staff that barrier from the public. Infrastructure as well, part of that is the barriers and things like that as well. Medicine procurement costs, we know that the sheer volume of medicines is going to be huge for pharmacies. As well as that, we know that many medicines are increasing in price. So that comes with its own challenges in terms of tariff reimbursement, and that's a huge issue, and that has been factored into the sum that we're putting forward to Scottish Government. And deliveries. So while Scotland is taking a different approach to England, so we're not taking on the responsibility of delivering to all vulnerable patients who are classed as shielded patients in these instances. We often already do. We are facing increased demand, so that's being recognised, but we're obviously taking the approach of using health and social care providers to come and collect medicines as they collect groceries for these vulnerable patients. So there'll be more detail on that, but these are the 5 areas: staff costs, health and safety, infrastructure, medicine procurement costs and deliveries, which are factored into the figure that we've put forward to Scottish Government. So I won't say that figure, but we are looking for a quick turnaround on that decision. So Scottish Government received that this afternoon. It'll go to the Cabinet Secretary in the next couple of days, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can with an update on that. Hopefully we can get pretty quick agreement on the resources that are clearly required to safeguard businesses and safeguard pharmacies going forward. Workforce as well. We had a call earlier, Harry and I, with directors of pharmacy, Rosemary, which is quite difficult for Rosemary to chair, because there's normally about 15-16 voices around there: GPHC, Health Protection Scotland, DOPS, etc. We just made one ask of the docs if they could consider a consistent approach. We know in some boards they've forged ahead with support to the community pharmacy network and prioritising where staff can be sent to support community pharmacy teams, and we'd like that to be consistent across the board. We realise that help is probably not going to plug all the gaps, it quite simply can't, but it is a real help and really does show the profession pulling together. So we made that plea, and the Directors of Pharmacy did listen. There was a number of calls and points, not just relating to community pharmacy, which, to be fair, were real eye-openers for me around the requirements at ICU for pharmacy. So real challenges in secondary care as well. So it was a wide-ranging discussion, but the community pharmacy angle was listened to. It was respected, and hopefully we can get movement across the boards in a uniform way soon, so that they can get support out to you guys, because the prescriptions may be able to be produced or may be reduced, but actually we still need people to actually fulfil these prescriptions, and the pharmacy teams are just under so much strain. So they did appreciate that. One quick request we had from an NHS Scotland dietitian colleague was around the gluten-free food service. Anecdotally, she's had feedback to say some pharmacies have been refusing to supply gluten-free foods at this time. And in many ways I get that you're in the middle of the maelstrom at the minute, and actually gluten-free foods might seem as if it can fall off the radar. Certainly a lot of requirements of the service do at the minute, such as annual review. But these patients going into the supermarkets aren't able to actually purchase many of the products they could there normally as well, because there actually is no products to purchase. So that service probably becomes even more important for these guys at this point with this autoimmune condition. So if I could just urge you to continue that service in amongst everything else you're doing, it would really be appreciated. And certainly our dietetics colleagues that are so grateful for the service we provide on this front, and under normal circumstances would be, I think, even more grateful if we could continue to do it now. So thanks for that. So Harry obviously had to name that tune last night. I've got the movie theme that I'm continuing. So I've got a quiz question tonight, which Harry can give you the answer to tomorrow. So the question is, Mr. Gower was the name of the pharmacist or druggist, and that's a clue, in which classic seasonal film? So Mr. Gower was the name of the pharmacist or druggist in which classic seasonal film? Certainly one of my favourites. And so that's a bit of light relief that we've obviously been adding in. We've got to keep a human side, I think, at the best of these times at the minute. So I hope you still find these videos useful. Please let us know if you want to know anything more, and if there's anything particular you'd like us to cover. If there's any value that we will do, and drop us any feedback about the videos at all. That's always been very useful, and thanks very much to those who have given us feedback so far. It's really encouraged us to keep it going. So all the best, and I'll see you later on in the week. Thanks very much. Bye.